What is cracking YouTube? This is the Art of Partnerships, episode 5. I'm Mario Arroyo, agent extraordinaire. Right here we got my boy,
Kevin Brady, aka Senor Brady.
And guys, this episode is going to be a little different from what we've done in the past. We've decided to just, Kevin and I sit down, talk a little bit about, what we got going on ourselves, the entrepreneurial world in general. And, just kind of dive into what our thoughts and beliefs are as far as investing in yourself, as far as investing in your business. And we're hoping you guys get a lot of value from this. You want to add anything to that?
No, absolutely. So what we're going to do today is kind of break down how we approach our finances, what we do with our money, what we do with the income that comes in from our businesses, and how we reinvest it. And for ourselves, how we take the money that comes from our reinvestments and use that to buy our toys. We don't buy the toys from the income that we generate through our normal jobs, but we buy it through the passive income that we get from the investments that we make. And we really want to emphasize that today.
I really couldn't have said it better myself. That is spot on what we want to cover today. And, just diving right into it, this is something to where entrepreneurship, it could get crazy. As far as crazy, what I mean is like, one day you're broke and 6 months later, you made the most money you've ever made in your life. Right. So some people actually go crazy with that. Next thing you know, they're buying vacations, they're buying the brand new car, they're buying the watch, they're buying the gold necklace. So that's just kind of like Kevin and I, we really shifted away from that. We're not the people to where I'm a loud guy myself. If you know me personally, I'm a guy that I love to talk. I love to talk about myself.
Yeah, he does.
Kevin's a lot more quiet, but at the end of the day, one thing that I always have preached and, it actually took me a while to learn this was, the liabilities as far as the new car, the jewelry and stuff like that. That's going to hinder your growth for the future. Right. So just piggybacking off of what Kevin just said, for those that don't know, and I think I covered this in episode 1, was that, I did own my own forklift business, and we were doing sales, and I was doing very well at the age of 19. At the age of 20, it all came crashing down. I lost it all, living out of my car, ended up moving in with my fiance and her parents and her family. And it was one of the worst times of my life. I quitted a warehouse job. I quit that warehouse job to start my own business. The business went great. I spent my money stupidly. And a year and a half, almost 2 years later, I found myself back at that warehouse job. And it was the most depressing day of my life. Yeah. So I learned a lot. With that being said, that's how I got my lessons. I don't know, Kevin, where did you kind of pick up the whole, as far as, making the right choices and investments with our money? How did you kind of learn that?
I think it started with... It had to have started with my accounting job. So coming out of college, I took an accounting job, was making just a salary. And in my mind, barely getting by with that salary in the sense of, after I was living with my parents at the time. But if I were to have lived on my own and I was doing the math, and if I would have paid my rent and then paid my auto loan and paid my student loans,
right,
I wouldn't have had anything.
Right.
So it struck me that, number one, this isn't what I want to do. Then I went into real estate. Mm-hmm. And it was very hard to make money my first couple of years in real estate.
Yeah, it's a challenge, man.
It's a challenge. Diving into something new where you set your own schedule, where a check is never guaranteed. What a mind shift that is.
Oh, man, absolutely. It's something that it scares the living shit out of people, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. Some people, it freaks them out knowing that they got to wake up and nothing is promised to them, at the end of the week. Nothing is promised at the end of the year, at the end of the month. You know what I mean? So it's something to where you got to wake up and you got to have the vision. You got to have the want to. And at the end of the day, too, I'll also say that some people are just wired that way, man.
Some people are.
I think I'm one of those people where I was wired that way where I couldn't have the job. What about you?
Same. No, I think we're not only wired that way, but for myself, it comes from a place of pain. And I mean pain in the sense of what I saw when I was younger was that money was the problem.
Right.
Money was the reason why there was sadness in my family, why there was hurt, and
The lack of money, right?
lack of money. Exactly. Lack of money. Lack of money was the reason why dad was upset. Lack of money was the reason why we couldn't buy this toy or we couldn't go here.
Right.
So I took that pain and that hurt and I realized I want to make a lot of money.
Right.
But for the main reason is because I never want to hurt because of the lack of money.
You don't want to go through that pain.
I don't want to go through that pain.
You know, it's crazy is that with me it was pretty similar, and you know, there's two things that motivate one another. It's either pain or pleasure, right? My parents, same thing. You know, weren't rich. We're not a rich family. We were not even a very well-off family, but we were average middle class. You know, parents made a good living, and you know, for a decent amount of time. And then one thing I noticed about my parents, though, is that they were one of those spenders that I'm talking about. You know, my dad was the guy that he bought the boat. My dad was the guy that took the whole family to Vegas, took the whole family to New York. You know, we were going everywhere. We went to Mexico once a month. You know, we went everywhere. But the problem is that there was no reserves, man. My dad was doing all this stuff, and so was my mom. But it was on a paycheck to paycheck basis. You know what I mean? So spend all the money on the weekend, go to work, and then, you know, now you got to make the money back.
Right.
You know, so the infrastructure of if something were to happen, if the rainy day, God forbid, came, we were fucked. You know, it was something to where it was so easy for it to crumble. You know, so it's a little different to where, like, we lived a life as a family to where we had a lot of fun, we did a lot of things, but the moment that something happened, it was Armageddon.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of what, for me, I think that's when I realized the importance of, you know, building a foundation and making sure that, you know, the day that I do make this amount of money, that amount of money, I have the foundation to, you know, we're in an industry where it's heavily dependent on the market.
Right.
The market is booming right now. You know, not to get political, but, you know, dude, Donald Trump got this market pumping. Like, it's almost scary because the party's got to end sometime, right?
Right.
You know, but with that being said, one day you and I, we're going to get that rainy day when it comes down to our businesses.
Right.
You know, it's going to come a time where it's going to take a shift, and we're already seeing kind of somewhat of a shift, right? And through that shift, that's when we have to have that infrastructure strong, and we have to have that stronghold to where we're not going to crumble when that happens.
Yeah. And, you know, not to sound too confident in myself, but even if the market shifted, my business would be fine.
Oh, same here.
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm not worried at all. But the reason I do what I do, reinvest in my money. Go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I know you're not worried, but why is that? It's because your foundation, you got a good foundation, though.
That's it. I have a good foundation. That's it. That's it. Is that if I didn't get a sale this week or whatever it may be, you're right. I have set up myself thus far to where I'm not dependent on a check coming in.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
And that was different than my parents, different than how I used to live, different than, I want to venture to say, 80% of the people out there, that if your check doesn't come in, you're screwed.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and we live in, I mean, you and I, we work in something to where our check is constantly teeter-tottering, you know, every day, because deals are, when deals come about, something could go wrong, man. Yeah. You could open 10 escrows tomorrow, you know, or tomorrow Saturday. So you open 10 escrows on Monday, right?
Right.
You open 10 escrows, but maybe only 5 or 6 of them actually close.
Right.
You know?
And you have to account for that. You account for that. So
yeah, you do.
And you know, the main point is that thus far, we have reinvested a lot of the money that has come in,
right?
In the sense of in different investments, and ultimately trying to find passive cash flow.
Absolutely. Calculated risks.
Risk and money that's going to come in without us doing anything. And hopefully that's not dependent on the market.
Right.
Whether it be diversifying our portfolio in Airbnb.
Right.
In elderly care homes.
Which, by the way, one of the things we wanted to mention, we're not gonna get too much into it now, but we actually, one of the people that have reached out to us, we did partner with someone, which it will be giving us some positive cash flow on a monthly basis, and we're very excited about that. So something to where it was a nice investment of $50,000,
Right,
and
right.
that $50,000. Some people don't have that, but they're taking the vacations. They drive the Maserati.
That's a good point.
They still don't have a property to call their own.
That's a good
But that's kind of one of the things to where I'm gonna kind of digress a little bit, but that's one of the things to where everybody's winning on social media. You ever notice that?
Right.
Everybody's fucking winning, bro.
Everyone, everyone lives the perfect life.
Yeah.
Has the perfect relationship.
Exactly.
Perfect job. Perfect.
Everything is just fine and dandy on social media.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But on social media, you're painting your life the way you want it to be portrayed. But with that being said, I can guarantee you throw out, maybe an 80% of the people are this way. I want to say 90% of the people that are quote unquote winning on social media are living paycheck to paycheck, man. Paycheck to paycheck, but it's just not either, we're not that's not what we see. We just see the wins.
Exactly. And I think, outside of social media is reality.
Absolutely.
Is reality. Social media is its own unique world. You can portray yourself to be whoever you want to be.
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's fucking badass.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I like it, man. I like it, but at the same time, I use it as a platform to, like what we're doing right now. It's just, we want to give value, we want to inspire, we want to do certain things, and social media allows us to do so many things, and that is one of the things that where you can recreate yourself and have everyone look at you as a certain way. That's pretty badass. But unfortunately, I think it hinders a lot of people.
Yeah, and just the example that Mario gave, someone that views our podcast that knows us reached out to us and presented us with an opportunity. And we bought into the company for $50,000.
And an important thing, not to cut you off, because I'm gonna let you continue, but just one thing I want to add is that we were ready for that opportunity. So that's one thing you got to think about is that when opportunities come about, you got to make sure you're ready. So letting you get back.
Right, and and a big reason why is we had the money saved, and we live modestly in order to prepare ourselves for the opportunity. Just giving examples. I drive a Nissan Altima.
Toyota Camry. And I love it.
I think we had 50,000 right there. I could have upgraded that Altima to I don't know, a Maserati, maybe a nice BMW. I don't know.
I remember you contemplated a little bit on the Maserati, man.
I was. It was very close to doing it, but I settled on the decision. Not settled. I came to the understanding that I would rather invest or keep that money to invest in a opportunity where it would generate cash flow that could pay for that Maserati eventually.
Delayed gratification.
And what I mean by that is this business that we have invested in or our other businesses, they're producing a certain amount of income. A lot of them without us doing anything or very little.
Exactly.
And so I can depend on, hey, 500 is going to come in from here a month. 1,000 is going to come in from here without me doing anything. Right. And what I have told myself is the rule, like, okay, Kevin, you can buy toys with the passive income. Now that I have $500 coming in or $1,500, now I can buy my nice condo in Long Beach or at least a nice loft in Long Beach.
Absolutely.
And then the next 500 or 1,000. Now, Kevin, with this passive income, you can buy your nice car that you've always wanted, the Maserati.
Definitely. And one thing about you and I is that I know everything that we do, everything that we purchase, whatever we get into is always with an intention. There's an intention behind it. I think we're constantly looking for the ROI. You know what I mean? And that's what differentiates us from a lot of people, man.
It's a high. For me,
it really is, man.
It's a high that I get because you know what? My parents never told me about this.
Right.
They never told me that you can make money not doing anything.
Right.
What a weird what a weird concept. But
Right.
for example, the Airbnb we have. Wait, I made $500 this month not doing shit.
Yeah.
Not doing shit. I
Exactly.
literally looked at my account after the month and it was positive $500.
Is there? Yeah. It's money you didn't even, I mean, you probably forgot about, at one point in time this month. And next thing you know, like, oh shit, that's right. I got the Airbnb.
Exactly. But,
Yeah.
and it just, it creates that high because I think before the jobs I used to have, I would work very hard to make that $500.
Right. Absolutely.
And now to get money without putting a lot of hard work in, it's the ultimate satisfaction. That's the only way I could describe it.
I agree, man. Because one of the things that my dad taught me was you could make a lot of money selling stuff. You could sell anything. My dad sold everything, man. Legal, illegal. My dad was a salesman.
Yeah.
And with that being said, though, he was a salesman, but didn't have the means to let the money work for him. He was constantly working for the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, given my dad did have some money to, maybe invest and buy a car and then flip it right away. But a lot of times my dad was making these sales without having to actually, which he was a smart man, so without actually having to put up his own money. But if my dad did put up his own money, he would have made a lot more. We're talking maybe 50% more. But one of the things is that my dad was never able to do exactly what you just said. Cash flow, you're sleeping and the money's working for you. That was the biggest thing.
There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. And I think a lot of the millennial generation, just from our parents, weren't taught that.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It was work hard. It was go to school, get your bachelor's.
Right.
Become you had a couple options. You had doctor, lawyer,
Yep.
engineer, and if you weren't good enough for those, then second tier accountant. No offense to the accountant out there, but that's what I think my parents realized after I wasn't smart enough to become a doctor, lawyer.
Right. Accountant's not that bad. Huh?
Hey, accountant, that's good. It's steady. It's safe. There's a lot of accounting jobs out there, so they're like, why don't you do that?
Definitely.
And no one told me about the mentality of investing, and then you'll get passive income and start your own business. And that's what we're hoping to do from this podcast.
Absolutely.
And share our experiences, and share how, I can speak for me personally. I've struggled with money. I've had problems with money.
Right.
And the problems that I have now, after that I have money and I live comfortably, I would take these problems over not having money any single day. Dude. It is ridiculous. Sometimes I ground myself and I might have problems with a relationship or some other problem.
Yeah.
And I just think, Kevin, what are you worrying about?
Yeah. Seriously, man. Our problems are so minimal compared to what they used to be, right?
Exactly. It's gone from survival, true survival. And people look at me, and you've pointed out before, my name's Kevin Brady.
Right.
I sound privileged just in the name itself.
Yeah.
There was a lot of struggle. For people that know me. Mario and I, we didn't know each other, but we grew up in North Long Beach. I grew up right in front of Jordan High School. That's not a nice area.
No. If you're familiar with, Southern California and, the Long Beach area, in front of Jordan High School is probably one of the rougher places, in all of Long Beach in general.
Yeah. And, I had an older cousin who lived in North Long Beach too. He was the only family member, my aunt and him. He went to Jordan High School. He ended up joining a gang, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Long story short, he ran away to Kansas. The one thing that not the one thing, but the highest thing that I thank my parents for is, although we lived in that area, I went to Bosco.
Yeah.
An all-boys high school. That's an expensive school. A lot of people ask, hey, if you were so poor, why didn't you went to Bosco?
Yeah. That sounds privileged too.
It sounds privileged, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was this. Bosco, they base how much you pay off of how much your parents make as well.
Okay.
With that said,
something I didn't know.
With that said, although I got 50% financial aid, my parents still had to come up with the other 50. that was a struggle. It was a struggle. The fights that came about from that struggle, countless times I told my parents, take me out of the school.
Yeah.
You guys are fighting every time I come home because of money. Why are you even sending me here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of pain. Again, it comes from pain. But ultimately, I thank them because they saw my cousin go one way and they did everything in their power, everything in their know-how to get me to be able to go the other way.
Yeah, dude, I can resonate with that 100%. You know, I'm a guy too that, you know, North Long Beach, family was, you know, my cousins watch this podcast, so I don't want to share too much of their stuff here. But
That's all right.
you know, a couple of my cousins went a different route too. You know, and love those guys to death. You know, but I know some of them are making the fight back, and you know, others are still lost out there. One thing that I'm very grateful for my parents too was you know, finding the means to get out of North Long Beach, and I ended up going to Downey High School.
Yep.
Downey High School is one of the best schools in all of California, you know, and I think all of the country for that matter.
Oh, come on, it's not that good.
No, it really is. You know, yeah.
I'm kidding.
I mean, it's not Bosco, you know, fucking, but it's a really good high school, man. You know, so but even then, you know, the environment, you know, getting into that now is that the environment that you're in changes everything. That could change, you know, one decision can really direct your life a whole another direction. Yeah. You know, and I think environment has a lot to do with that. So, you know, me getting out of that environment made me realize that I love entrepreneurship. And, you know, here we are, you know, maybe 12 years later or something like that. Yeah. But, you know, long story short, man, that's one thing that, you know, I'm very grateful for as well. And, you know, at the end of the day, what the thing that motivates me a lot was that, you know, making sure that I don't go down the path that my parents went down, because I know that, like I said before, it'll crumble. You know, one thing that went wrong, it crumbled. You know, so now I don't do that. I make sure that, you know, my base is 100% sturdy, it's strong, and at the end of the day, the money that we do spend, you know, it's spent to make more money and hopefully, because not everything goes perfect, you know, not everything goes as planned, but at the end of the day, they're calculated risks in order to better ourselves and then ultimately reaching that goal. And, you know, with that, after saying those couple of things, I mean, have we ever told the podcast how old we actually are? How old are you, man?
I just turned 28 last month.
I'm 26, you know, and I say this shit with pride, is that not too many people our age think this way right now. You know, they still, I mean, not to bag on anybody or anything like that, but, you know, I mean, they're buying $500 tickets to go to Coachella. They're buying $450 tickets to go to fucking Vegas and go see EDC. We're here grinding, bro. We're grinding. You know what I mean? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's like when you're doing it all the time, you know, and then it's just, I don't know, man. I got a weird way of looking at people that do stuff like that, and then later on they're asking me for advice, like, "Hey, dude, what do you think? Should I do this? Should I do that?" It's like, motherfucker, stop partying. What are you celebrating?
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's ultimately, I want to set myself up for the life that I want to live, and also my children and future generations.
Right.
In the sense of this, like, I want to have enough passive income that I could pay all my bills, live in the house that I want to live in, drive the car that I want to drive, and then do truly what I want to do, whatever it may be. It might still be mortgages. It might still be real estate.
Yeah, who knows?
But then let's say my kid. Let's say I have a kid and he wants to become an artist or something that, let's just say, doesn't generate a lot of income.
Right.
But it brings true happiness to him. Mm-hmm. I would love that. I would love for him to do something that he truly loves, even if it doesn't bring a lot of money, but knowing that he still has money to cover his bills.
Absolutely.
Right? Because that's a big problem for a lot of people, is they don't follow their true passion because their true passion is not bringing in a lot of money.
Exactly.
But if I could start this trend where I could set up a certain way or a certain cash flow that my future generations would be taken care of, and you could truly do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is, man. Yeah. It really is, you know. And then even just piggybacking off of that would be, I am a firm believer, and I get your point 100%. And not that I'm disagreeing with you, but I'm a firm believer that whatever your passion is, there is a market for it. Like, I really truly believe that, man. So, but at the same time, let's say you just want to do it for shits and giggles.
But some people don't want to make money of it.
Exactly. That's
some
what I'm
people
saying.
just want to help people at a charity, right? Maybe they want to do missionary work in Africa.
And if you have rental properties that are paying you $5,000 a month, you can do that.
And not worry about it, and truly follow your passion and do whatever you want. And money doesn't influence you at all.
Exactly.
For us, or for me, same for you, I imagine. Pain has given me that fire,
Right.
And I'm thankful for it. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Right.
I'm thankful for the pain, the fire that makes me so competitive.
Oh, definitely.
Competitive, and I want to win. I want to make money. But for my children, they won't have that. I plan, and I know it's going to be this way, that they're going to be able to do whatever they want,
Right.
without no pain, no fire. They might want to make more money. Sure, if that's them, that's them. If they just are born naturally competitive,
Yeah.
so be it. But maybe they want to do something else that doesn't involve money, charity work, whatever it may be. They're going to be able to do that.
I hear you, bro. Definitely. So, you providing that platform in order to give them that opportunity to do so.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, money is freedom. The people that say that money isn't important, fuck, dude. Let me know when you don't have insurance and, all of a sudden you got cancer and you can't pay for your bills. Money is extremely important. And just recently, man, don't want to put anybody on blast, but, I posted something on Instagram, and there is this guy that, well, let me get into what the post said. The post said, two people have $1,000, right? Kevin has $1,000. Mario has $1,000. Kevin buys a vacation that costs $650, right? So Kevin is left with $350. That's right?
Yeah,
He's a mortgage guy.
Sure,
Okay,
sure,
cool.
sure.
So Mario has $1,000, but he invests $650, and he positively cash flowed $650, and now he has $1,350.
Sure.
But Mario didn't post that. He didn't say shit, But Kevin told everyone, "Hey, I just went on a very nice vacation," which the vacation doesn't exist for $650, right? But
Right.
but we're just using round numbers. So Kevin looks like, oh wow, like Kevin must be doing very
Kevin's
well
doing
for
well.
himself.
Yeah.
But then Mario behind the curtains is like, he's stacking. He's stacking. He's on the come up, escalating. Going up. So a guy said, he said, okay, yeah, but what if the guy that went on the vacation is very happy, and maybe that's his wealth, just being happy. Well, I think that guy's fucking selfish, quite personally. I think you're selfish as hell, because it's not just about you. It's not just about your happiness. It's about your family. It's about, like, why, it's just, if it was just about you, then you're not successful. I truly believe that. And if you are successful and it's always been geared around you, it's only a matter of time before that crumbles too.
Yeah.
So like I'm sorry, I'm getting really passionate over here, but that's one thing that just irks me, bro.
Yeah.
Is that people, you're over here talking about the opportunities you want to provide for your future kids that don't even exist yet. They're not even here yet. You know what I mean? And just think about how big you're thinking. And same here, man. Everything that I do is because if my son one day, which, I mean, I wasn't the greatest student, and he'll probably end up in entrepreneurship anyway, but if my son said, hey, I want to go to Harvard, I want to be able to provide that for him. I don't want money to say, hey, dude, sorry, man, we just can't afford it, but you can go to Cal State LA.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just kind of where, like, that's where it's bigger than us, bro. You know that? You're like, it's just bigger than us. It's not. I already impacted my life. With the almost $200,000 that I made last year, and I'm probably gonna go over that this year. Dude, my life is impacted. Like I live a comfortable life right now.
Yeah.
But I can't stop there. I can't stop there. My mom, my grandparents are still old, and my grandpa's still, trying to work and stuff like that. And, I need to really make sure that I take care of them too, because they took care of me. So that's my belief. You know what I mean? So don't be selfish.
No.
It's a big thing for me.
And my, something I'll share. My mother works with me.
Right.
She works here at my mortgage company.
She's the nicest lady I know, man.
Well, thank you. And man, that was a dream of mine. That she would quit her job. She was a teacher, teaching 3-year-olds, preschool teacher. Gosh, I can't tell you. One of her friends, 49 years old, great health, looked like she was 30, 35.
Right.
This was one of my mom's good friends, and I would always look at her and be like, "Ma, how old is she?"
Yeah.
I was figuring that I could date her. I thought she was 30.
Yeah.
This woman had a stroke.
No shit, dude.
Had a stroke at 49.
No
The
way.
most in shape woman, went to the gym every day, healthy diet.
Wow.
I don't know if it had to do with the stress that's put on being a preschool teacher and being, of that age.
It could, man.
It could. And all I can tell you is that my mom wasn't in the same shape as her.
Yeah.
Is not going to the gym every day. Sorry, Ma, if you're watching this. It's not eating the same diet that her friend was eating.
Right.
And even, that was kind of the last straw of like, holy crap, I got to get my mom out of this. Before that, I had always thought that was the final 6 months after that happened. My mom started working with me.
Damn,
and
dude.
that happened, and it just clicked something in my head that there's it's more than just me.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
more
it
than
really
just
is,
me,
man.
and it's more than just me right now.
Yeah.
Right now, my mom is, 51, 52. We'll say 50. My mom wants to say 51. We'll say 51. That's not old.
Not at all.
It's
bro.
not old.
That's young.
It's young, but I always thought like, okay, when my parents retire, they're not going to have enough money. So when they get to retirement age, or when my mom gets to 60, that's when I need to make money. No. It's, when that happened, I was like, okay, I want my mom to come work with me so that she remains healthy.
Right.
Shoot, that we grow together in this company, and that she can then do whatever side businesses she wants to do. She runs a side CPR business, and she's really growing that and developing, and it brings me a lot of joy.
That's good, man.
To see that she has the opportunity to develop her own business while working with my business and us working together.
It doesn't get better than that, dude.
It doesn't.
Really, like,
it doesn't get better than that.
That's success in itself, bro. I mean, a lot of people put possessions, money as a success, but like, dude, that's successful as fuck, dude. Like, you're able to provide opportunities. Dude, how many people work under Brooklyn Financial?
9 people now.
Bro, that is
9 people.
That's awesome, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that journey, man, of getting there, like, that's already a success, and it's just, you're very blessed, and I'm sure you're very thankful that you're able to provide that opportunity for your mom. Getting her out of a tough position that probably could have made her sick, like her coworker.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's good, man. Hats off to you.
Thank you. And with that said, one of the reasons we're shooting this episode is for this. Like, what did we do, and kind of sharing our experiences. And I'll share what I did here. A lot of my money was saved.
Right. Kevin, where do you live, bro?
I don't
know if you want to share that or not, but I want to ask you anyway, dude.
I live in a house, and I live with 4 other roommates. So it's 5 people in this house. I pay $500 a month for my room.
Right.
That's
$500 a month.
$500 a month.
Hey, what's your office? What's your office? Hey, give me a ballpark, bro. You don't got to make the.
I'll tell you how much my office lease is. $5,800. $5,800.
You see where his priorities are? Like that, dude. I love that shit. Like, the priorities are like $5,800 office, $500 place to rest his head.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking crazy when you think about it.
It's crazy, huh?
It is. Have you even thought about that?
It's a couple times. I figure I might as well just put a bed out here. This is
dude. Might as well.
But I look back at everything, and man, like I said, we're shooting this to inspire others, and I hope it does. Is the money I saved for rent? I've been living there for almost 3 years now.
Right.
it's been reinvested. It's been reinvested. What do you call it in terms of happiness or delayed gratification?
Delayed gratification, bro.
That's exactly it. I delayed gratification in terms of, I was making enough money. I could have bought my own studio. But no, I decided I'm going to I just need a room. I don't have a girlfriend, a wife, kids, dog, just myself. So I'm going to live in this little room.
Yeah.
And just reinvest everything into other investment opportunities and my business.
Absolutely, man.
Everything. And I mean everything.
I'm a witness.
You're a witness to everything that comes in, and this is where, people have seen it. Everything goes back out. I don't, in terms of really saving in savings account, I don't do it.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity, I'm gonna keep firing.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be firing. It's not gonna be putting my money to a new car.
That's what money's for, man.
It's what money for, and the phrase I use and. I'm dangerous. I am dangerous now. And,
no, you really are, dude.
And it's such a good feeling to say that. And I just want other people to experience that feeling because for being a person that I'm consistently searching for happiness. What makes me happy and on a never-ending pursuit of happiness.
Definitely.
I can tell you this feeling of being able to invest in whatever I want to invest, being able to help whoever I want to help. It's an undescribable feeling.
It doesn't get no better than that, man.
No, it doesn't. It
really doesn't, bro. And thanks for sharing that, for sharing that story. And Kevin's a guy that doesn't speak too much, so sometimes we gotta get it out of him. But nevertheless, man, dude, you got a lot of nuggets to share, bro.
I have 10 posts on Instagram. I mean, I'm still working on it. Yeah,
exactly. But dude, I mean that's inspiring, bro. And hats off to you again. I mean, I'll cheers to that, brother.
Thank you.
That's definitely something to be proud of.
But it's not done. It's not over.
Oh, dude, we're just getting started. That's the best part.
And you know what? And I hope our audience sees this is we're inspired. We hope that someone out there, and this is what I told Mario, before we shot this episode right now, I'm hoping that I could speak to 22-year-old Kevin, 23-year-old, 21-year-old, my younger self. And a lot of people that are like my younger self, because I was in a bad place, in a bad place of, wait, is that it in life? Do I just become an accountant?
Yeah.
And that's it? That's just it. I just keep going and work my way up and that's just it. No, it doesn't have to be like that.
You didn't accept it, bro.
I didn't accept it.
No. I relate to that too, man. I was working through an agency at a warehouse and they offered me a position to be there for $20 an hour. And I never made $20 an hour, and at that time I was, 21 in between jobs. And I accepted the job at 9 a.m. and by 12 p.m. I quit the same day. And I quit because I was like, dude, fuck that. I'm not going to stay here. You know what I mean? This is not for me. And I had the courage to say, nah, I'm not accepting this 9-to-5 life. I'm not accepting this 30-minute lunch. I'm not accepting this. I'm dying to go to the restroom for 10 minutes to take a break from, doing this and doing that because I fucking hate my job. I said, I'm not going to be the guy that's on the forklift for and he's 70 years old, and I really want to, Kevin gave his piece. My piece is dude, don't man the fuck up. If you're at a job that you hate, dude, it's gonna work itself out, bro. It's really gonna work itself out. Everything's gonna be fine, but don't stay. You know what I mean? Don't accept that as your reality. And I just can't. That's my piece of advice that I would give anyone is that don't accept it, because once you accept it, I mean, you're gonna be the guy on the deathbed that's regretting what could have been or what should have happened, and you just don't want to be that, And I want to share something a little deep here. Was my dad passed away last year. I got to ask my dad a very tough question, which was, what did he regret?
Wow.
Dude, my dad, with tears in his eyes, and I don't want to get too into it because then there'll be tears in my eyes, but my dad regretted a lot of not going for it, and not fully going for it, and that's what I just want to tell you guys is don't be that person, because if you could see the pain in a dying man's eyes saying that to you, I don't wish that on anyone. I don't wish anyone to be in that position. Not my worst enemy, which I don't have any, thank God, but if whoever it may be, I really, I just encourage you to just go all in, go for it, and if you fall, dude, that's part of the process. I'm very blessed and lucky that I fell early. I fell at 20 years old, and fucking plenty of time to pick myself back up and build myself back up. And one more thing I'll share is, dude, don't compare yourself to other people, and you probably look at Kevin here, probably look at me here. I mean, I used to compare myself to others, and it's not a healthy thing to do, because everyone has different timing for certain things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I just think that when you do that, it just messes with your head.
Instead, be inspired.
Run your race. Yeah.
Be inspired. That's
exactly.
Really, don't see it as a negative that this person's at a certain place and you're not.
Exactly.
There's this 28-year-old, he's my age, and he's just making millions a year.
Right.
And I first became aware of him maybe a year and a half ago. And at first my initial reaction was like, oh shoot, I'm not doing that, or he's better than me. And I got a little taken back, like, he's better. But instead now
it's almost natural when
it's
that
almost
happens.
natural.
Yeah.
But instead, over this year and a half, I follow him. I look at everything he's doing. I am inspired. I am learning.
Yeah.
It is I've taken a lot of value out of what he does, and it's
Right.
It has been a blessing that I, instead of taking that attitude of, oh man, I feel bad about myself because I'm not where he's better than me.
Yeah.
Instead, let me follow this guy and let me learn from him.
Yeah, dude, drop your ego, right?
Drop your ego. Ego is the enemy.
Ego is the fucking enemy.
Ego is the enemy.
It really is. Man, I say that all the time, and I every time I say it with passion, because it's true, dude. If you could drop your ego, you could learn something, from anyone, from a lot of people. And I had to learn that because I had a huge ego when I was 20 years old, 21 years old, man. 20-year-old driving a Mercedes Benz, it's like a year old. Your ego tends to grow a little bit.
And what one story that I want to share here is someone that works with me here at Brooklyn Financial. This guy had just graduated college, got offered a job at a certain company that was going to pay him $20 an hour.
Right.
$20 an hour is about $42K a year. Anyway, he reaches out to me on LinkedIn, just kind of seeing if I have any positions open. I said, yeah, you could come on. It would be minimum wage. No bonuses, just minimum for the first 3 months at least. This was, let's say, the last 3 months of last year. So he started in September, October, November, December, now making minimum wage.
Yeah.
This year, he will close out the year at $100K.
Dude. Dude, I'm so happy for that guy. I know exactly who he's talking about, man. That's fucking awesome.
Saying that, even to myself, it gives that warm feeling, that goosebump feeling.
It does.
He went for it. He could have had $20 an hour, or I think I was paying him $11 an hour last year. No bonus, no nothing, just for the first 3 months. And this is what I really told him. Until you start bringing value to me,
you're
minimum wage, because I'm bringing all the value to you.
Right. How old is that guy?
This guy is 23.
23?
Yeah, 23. He turned 23 in December.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I'm excited for that guy because I know his potential is.
He will be.
He's gonna be on this show pretty soon, by the way.
He will. Yeah. He will be the wealthiest person in this room. No problem. He's way ahead of all of us.
He's gonna be you. He's gonna be me.
Ahead of us.
Yeah, I agree.
I've told him this to his face.
Yeah, I agree.
Way beyond what we're gonna be, and it's because he had that mindset shift so early.
Like if you can go back, and be like, oh man, if I had what you had at that age,
it's It's amazing. But the main point is he was at a crossroads, which many of you are at the same crossroads, and you have to look at yourself. If you have this gut feeling that something isn't right, if you're not truly happy with yourself, if something's bothering you inside, you have to take the risk and follow what you really want to do.
Yeah.
That's what this guy did. It's paid off. And even if it doesn't pay off in dividends financially, I can almost guarantee you that just following your gut is going to make you that much happier.
Absolutely.
You're going to start enjoying the process. And I think that's the main thing is so many people, and this is it with a lot of people, 80%, 90%, whatever the number is, they choose to keep suffering in the position that they're in rather than venture into the unknown. And maybe that's just us as humans. We rather still suffer in the knowing than venture into the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
We are more scared of the unknown than to just stay in our suffering or unhappiness. We rather just be, I'm okay. I'm unhappy, but I'm not totally unhappy.
I could tolerate it.
I could tolerate it.
I could tolerate it. So we'll just keep doing this. You know,
don't be that person.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
And if you are on the fence and you're like, should I not? Just stop thinking about it. Stop. When you think about it, paralysis by analysis.
Just do it.
Don't be that person, you know.
Especially if you don't have kids. If you don't, oh my gosh,
if you have no kids, you live at home with your parents, dude. You need to be doing high risk shit, dude. Like high risk.
And if you have kids, you have to you better save a lot of money. Enough reserves, and then do it. Stop spending. Stop going on vacation.
Exactly.
Get the reserves so that you know you can take this risk for 6 months, a year, and still have enough saved to pay your regular bills.
You know, it's funny, dude. That you're exactly right. I read this thing one time. It was a meme on Instagram, I think, and it said millennials don't have enough for a down payment, but they're buying $11 avocado toast.
Spot on. Spot on.
Dude, a $6 glass of orange juice. It's like, come on, dude. You know, seriously. And then if you do have kids, you just got to work harder, you know, but the work, you're going to have to work. Anything worth having is working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and if you have kids, just work harder. But you should have a stronger motivation than the person that doesn't have kids, in my opinion, coming from a father himself, you know, and because it's not just about you, it's about them too, you know, and, dude, build the legacy, you know, and it's just sometimes you gotta love the journey. When you fall in love with the journey, it's not even about the money anymore. You know, it's just about just leveling up.
Like I said, different things are gonna give you different highs, whether it be yourself not having to work because you have the money coming in from your investments, or whether it's yourself seeing someone that works under you that's making this money and becoming so successful. Different things will bring you different levels of fulfillment. And that's not something you could get at a regular job. I mean, it really isn't.
I hear you, man. No, you can't, you know, and then at a regular job, I mean, you'll just always be capped out, you know, and maybe some people do live a very happy life working at a certain place. I mean, and if that's you, then great, you know, but I think at the end of the day, it's about being happy, you know, and if
it is,
I just think the vast
100%.
majority, man, you know, and I just think the vast majority of people, everyone's looking for happiness. You know, there's not one person that's like, nah, I'm okay being pissed off.
No.
I'm all right being sad. I'm depressed sometimes. Yeah, but it's cool, you know? No, dude, everyone's looking for happiness. And if you're not happy, you know, in your current situation, change it. You know, just change it.
Absolutely. And work on yourself and your self-development. You know, something else I'll share is, gosh, how much I spent on self-development the last couple months, monthly. I haven't even done the math, but $1,000 in mental self-development, seeing a life coach slash therapist. Right. $1,000 a month is what I paid for the last 3 months. Yeah. Seeing a therapist. I'll just say it. I'll just call it what it is. Yeah. I saw a therapist the last 3 months paying $1,000 a month.
Yeah, I'm seeing that same therapist. She does wonders. Dude, but it's a game changer, right? And it's worth every fucking penny.
It is self-development tailored to you.
Exactly. People hear therapists and they think, oh, there's something wrong with you or this and that. But that's definitely not the case. It's just always about improving, man. And if we're not growing, we're dying. You know, so
exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And $1,000 on my mental health, $300 a month with a personal trainer for my physical health. That's what I've invested in. And the returns are amazing. And they make me more clear-minded in order to excel at my job.
Yeah.
And create more wealth and more money, and it's a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. And I look at it as, dude, your body is worth $1,300 a month.
No,
it's worth the investment.
It's worth way more. I think it's worth.
You'd pay more.
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully our therapist isn't watching this. Isn't going to raise the price, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it's worth more than that. So like you gladly pay it. Is my point.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gladly pay it, and I mean, dude, at the end of the day, it's just about you know what value you're gonna get back from it, and that's why you do it. Same here, and I mean, I'll name drop one person right now, a buddy of mine, Fernando Caro. Fernando is a young guy, man, that I tell everyone, I defend this kid to the max, dude. This kid's like my little brother, and this guy is like super high risk on stuff that he's investing in himself. And lately he told me, he's like, yeah, dude, like I hired this guy to, take me under his wing, and, he's teaching me this, he's teaching me that. And he's like, check it out. Like I'm implementing it, and look what it's giving me. Dude, that guy charged him $25,000.
Holy
$25,000. And this guy didn't even fucking think. 23-year-old kid, dude, didn't even think. He's like, boom, let's go. But he sees the value and he's willing to put in the work. And that's the difference between him and a lot of other people. And given the kid he's doing good, man. Thank God he's blessed, and his business is cranking, and so his numbers are coming in. But some people can't fathom spending $10 on themselves by eating something healthy. And here's a guy that's fucking over here $25,000 to invest in his mindset, man. But what's that ROI gonna give him in the long run?
No, it's so good. It's so good.
It's so many different ways, man. I mean, we talk about investing in assets, investing in yourself, investing in your mindset. I mean, above all, we're talking about investments. I think the best investment you can ever do is the mindset. Personally,
it's in yourself.
It's
in yourself, mentally and physically. And I'm glad we touched upon it at the end of this podcast here.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot of passion, a lot of I cursed a lot more on this one than every other podcast.
It was true.
That's just how I felt. Just how I felt, and it's just something that's been on my mind a lot lately. And I'm glad we got to sit down and do it, because I know you've been thinking about this too. Kevin and I, we know each other very well, and I know his strengths, I know his weaknesses, and vice versa. Yeah. And Kevin and I we're smashing a lot of things, smashing a lot of goals lately.
Yeah.
And we're very blessed in that sense. So we wanted to get on here and share that with you guys. So hey man, with that being said, I think it was a great episode, and you guys already know where to find me, Mario Arroyo, aka Agent Extraordinaire.
Kevin Brady, a.k.a. Senior Brady on Instagram.
And don't forget, if you guys ever have a business opportunity, a business idea that you guys want to run by us, we're always open ears. Next episode, we're probably going to be partnering. Well, actually, we're going to be talking about the partnership that we're doing. We just invested in. That's actually called Juice Delight, in case any of you guys haven't heard of it. But Juice Delight is the name of the company, and we're very excited to have our partner on and, talk about it. And, so yeah, with that being said, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add? Or?
No, just that this is the other partnerships. We're looking to partner with you.